Today we have placed all players on the Philadelphia 76ers back in their primes, and now this is how the new Sixers roster will be looking like. We have LeBron James all the way up to a 99 overall, 96 for Joel Embiid, 95 Jaylen Brown, and then Anthony Simons up to an 83 overall, the same for Marvin Bagley III, and an 80 overall for Caldwell Pope. The ultimate goal is to win as many championships as we can over the next few seasons, and I do want to change Caldwell Pope's position from shooting guard to small forward, where he jumps up to an 82 overall. We are starting off in the beginning of the 26-27 season, and now let's go ahead and take a look at our lineup. So in the starting lineup, we currently have Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. Please tell me which team's going to be able to stop this starting lineup. I don't think there's a single team out there that'll be able to guard our starting five. Off the bench, we have Anthony Simons, Caldwell Pope, Marvin Bagley, and Dean Wade. Before we go through with the simulation, I am still giving away a copy of NBA 2K27 and a copy of GTA 6 to a few of my lucky subscribers. And all you have to do to enter is subscribe and turn on post notifications for my channel. The winners will be announced on the release dates. Now back to the video. Now let's go ahead and simulate the first 2 weeks of this season and see how our team does. We have 8 games in the first 2 weeks, which is a lot of games. How many can we win? Let's take a look. So we end up winning not as many as I had expected, but still we are the number 4 seed with 5 wins and 3 losses. I guess chemistry still does need to be built. Right now, as you guys can see in the bottom left corner, it's only at a 56%. But nonetheless, we are still rolling with a 5-star overall system proficiency balanced under our head coach Nick Nurse, which is absolutely amazing. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but of course, if there are any trades to be made, I'll be stopping here at the trade deadline to show you all. I'm not about to accept this trade, but the Charlotte Hornets are offering us Con Kneppel and a first-round pick for VJ Edgecombe. This is something I'm going to keep in the back of my mind in case we want to make this trade in the future, because I feel like Con Kneppel's ability of three-point shooting would be a very ideal fit beside our superstar talent. But for now, we're going to decline. We could pick it back up in the future if we feel like it, but for now, let's go ahead and decline this trade. We're stopped here at the trade deadline, and as good as I had thought Marvin Bagley would be back in his prime, he's not really doing all that much. He's basically 7 foot tall, only shooting 48% from the field and 25% from the three-point line. Plus, he's not a good defender either, so we're going to make this trade happen with the Phoenix Suns, where we bring in Common Malwatch, and let me tell you all, this man progresses very well in 2K simulation. I've seen him up to an 88 overall before. And this season, he's already averaging 10 points per game, 6 rebounds. He's an amazing interior defender. Plus, he's shooting 73% from the field. We do also have to give up LeBron Flown Jr., but that's okay because he's not going to be a part of this rotation anyway, so let's go ahead and pull off this trade. Other than Marvin Bagley on our team, every player has been amazing, so we're not going to be trading away any more players, but let's see if there's anyone we have to re-sign. So Joel Embiid is open to sign a contract extension. You know what, let's go ahead and extend him for the next 2 seasons, paying him $47 million annually, and he goes on to happily accept. Is there anyone else? And Adam Bonner, we don't really need, or actually, you know what, we'll extend him in case we want to trade him in the offseason. But now let's go ahead and simulate until the end of this season. And now at the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win an MVP, Cam Boozer Rookie of the Year, DeJounte Murray 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, also Most Improved with Wemby, Jason Tatum Clutch Player, and our head coach Nick Nurse goes on to win Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. Let's go. Let's take a look at how many awards we get here in All-NBA team. We do land ourselves Joel Embiid and LeBron James on an All-NBA second team. And that's it for All-NBA teams. Do we get anybody here on an All-Defensive team? We do land Joel Embiid on an All-Defensive second team, and that will be it for awards. And we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 63 games and losing only 19. Let's take a look at team and player stats before we start simulating the playoffs here. So for player stats, our leading scorer was LeBron James, averaging 25 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 9 assists per game with 1.5 steal and 1 block per game. Then we had Joel Embiid averaging 22 points, 12.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 22 points per game from Jaylen Brown, 19 Tyrese Maxey, 15 VJ Edgecombe, and 15 from Anthony Simons. And now comes time for the NBA playoffs, and in the first round, we've got ourselves the Charlotte Hornets. In their starting lineup, they have Brandon Miller, Grayson Allen, Con Kneppel, Naz Reid, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Again, we were able to get Con Kneppel in the regular season, but did not decide to do so, but hopefully that does not backfire here. Let's see what happens. Game number 1, we do end up winning. VJ Edgecombe, there we go, dropping 28 points, LeBron with a 28-point double-double, and Joel Embiid with a 26-point triple-double. Game number 2, we also secure the win. LeBron 34 and 12, 30 and 15 from Jaylen Brown, 25 and 15 from Joel Embiid. So far, our starting 5 has been on fire. Can we continue that for game 3? And yes, we can. Maxey dropping 40, 27 JB, 18, 11 from LeBron. And are we about to sweep the Hornets? Yes, we are. Jaylen Brown dropped 32 points here in game 4, 25, 9 and 12 LeBron, 25 and 16 from Joel Embiid. Let's take a look at how our starting lineup has been doing so far here in the playoffs. Maxey is averaging 27 points, 20 VJ Edgecombe, 27 Jaylen Brown, 26 and 11 from LeBron James. Okay, for some reason it's lagged out here. Joel Embiid is not averaging 6 points per game. I'm not sure why it says that. 12 Anthony Simons, 7.5 from Caldwell Pope. In case some of you are actually thinking Joel Embiid's averaging 6 points per game against the Hornets, as you guys can see here, that's impossible. He was averaging 26, 25, 19, 25, and that does not equal out to 6 points per game. For some reason, sometimes 2K does do that, but now in the second round, we've got ourselves the Toronto Raptors. And in their starting lineup, they have Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. Let's see how the second round of the playoffs goes. Game number 1, we do end up winning, and Joel Embiid with 42 points and 16 rebounds. 28-point triple-double from LeBron, 28, 16 rebounds, and 15 assists. Those are amazing numbers. Game 2, we also end up winning. Joel Embiid 31 and 11, LeBron 39 and 10, 5 steals and 1 block, almost a triple-double. We also win game 3. In this game, Tyrese Maxey led the way with 33 points. And we go on to sweep the Toronto Raptors as well. Joel Embiid 29, 18, LeBron 23 and 11, 19 from Simons. And just in case some of you had thought I made a mistake trading away Marvin Bagley for Coleman Mulwatch, think again, because our boy's averaging 9 points per game, 1 block on 12 minutes per game, and per 36 minutes, that equals out to him averaging 26 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks on 83% from the field. And now it is time for the Eastern Conference Finals, where we are taking on the number 2 seeded Detroit Pistons. Let's see how things go. Let's take a look at how their team is looking like. So in their starting lineup, they have Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Joe, Ausar Thompson, John Collins, and Jalen Duren. And this here is their bench unit. In the Western Conference Finals, we have the Golden State Warriors taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. But now back to our series. Let's see how things go. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Joel Embiid dropping 40 points. I really wish we were able to see the real amount of points per game Joel Embiid is averaging, because he's been putting up big numbers here in the playoffs. LeBron 28, 21 Maxey. Game number 2, we also end up winning. We lose game 3, we win game 4. And we go on a gentleman's sweep the Detroit Pistons. In game 5, LeBron with 35 and 11, 28 Jaylen Brown, 24 Maxey, 23 and 12 from Joel Embiid. And now our team has made the NBA Finals. We're either going to have to take on the OKC Thunder or the Golden State Warriors, and it will be the OKC Thunder. Chet Holmgren winning Western Conference Finals MVP, LeBron James, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 27, 6, and 9, 2 steals, 1 block on 67% from the field. Let's go. And now it is time for the NBA Finals, where we've got ourselves a 1-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder taking on our team, which is the 1-seeded Philadelphia 76ers. In their starting lineup, they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Cason Wallace, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein, and this here is their bench unit. Throughout the playoffs, prime LeBron James is averaging 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists per game on 60% from the field. Another player who's blew my expectations is Anthony Simons, 62% from the field and 50% from the three-point line. He's really shooting on shooting splits of 60, 50, 90, which is unheard of. But now let's see what happens here in game number 1, where we do end up winning. Joel Embiid 29 and 12, 28 and 12 from LeBron James, 18 and 10 from Jaylen Brown. Game 2, we also secure the win. In this game, JB had 27, 25, 16 from Joel, and 20 from Tyrese Maxey. We are up 2-0. Can we make this 3-0? Let's go ahead and see. And yes, we can. We are up 3-0 against a 1-seeded OKC Thunder. Joel Embiid dropping 30 points, 23 LeBron, and 20 from VJ Edgecombe. Are we able to sweep the OKC Thunder? Let's find out here. They do have home court advantage for game 4. And so far they do have the lead, but we come right back and end up winning 140 to 138. Tyrese Maxey had himself 40 points, 23 Joel Embiid, and 22 from Jaylen Brown. LeBron 14 points and 10 assists. And just like that, we go on to win the Philadelphia 76ers a championship with Joel Embiid winning Finals MVP. He was averaging a 27-point double-double, 1.5 blocks per game, and half a steal on 53% from the field. And now, of course, we are going to continue running it back and see if we could win ourselves a back-to-back championship, and maybe even 3 championships in a row if possible. But before that, let's go ahead and take a look at player stats. So in the playoffs, we played a total of 17 games. In those 17 games, the leading scorer was LeBron James, 25, 6, and 10. 1.5 steal and 1 block per game. Amazing numbers. 22 Tyrese Maxey, 21 Jaylen Brown, 16 VJ Edgecombe, 14 Anthony Simons, and Joel Embiid actually averaged a lot more than that. Again, for some reason it's glitching out, but he was definitely averaging more than 12 points per game. And if we go round by round, we're actually able to see how many points per game Joel Embiid was averaging. So in the first round, he was averaging a 24-point double-double. In the second round, he was averaging a 31-point double-double. In the conference finals, 26 and 9, and then in the NBA finals, 27 and 10. In the 2027 NBA draft, we do have ourselves 2 second-round picks, but I'm not really trying to draft any second-rounders, so let's go ahead and trade away both picks to the Boston Celtics and take in return their 2028. Well, actually, that's our 2028 unprotected. We're just getting it back from the Celtics. I believe they acquired that in the Jaylen Brown trade. And now let's go to team player options and see what we got to do here. I don't know if there's anyone we need to re-sign this offseason. VJ Edgecombe, of course, we are going to pick up the team option. I'm not sure why the CPU doesn't want us to pick it up for Kaman Malwatch, but of course we are, and the same for Justin Edwards. Qualifying offers, I'm not sure again if we have to re-sign anyone. Let's take a look. So it seems like every player on our team is on long-term contracts. So again, our plan is to continue basically rolling with the same team we have, maybe make some adjustments to the bench unit and see how many championships we can win over the next few seasons. We've already won 1, and now our goal is to go for a back-to-back championship. Is there anyone we could sign here in free agency? Well, first let's see which position we could upgrade. Maybe the backup power forward position, even though Dean Wade has been good. Maybe we try and acquire someone else if we're able to upgrade that position. I like Anthony Simons as a backup 2. I like Caldwell Pope as a backup 3. And I like Kaman Malwatch as a backup center. So yeah, Dean Wade is the only position we could possibly try and upgrade. Derrick Jones Jr. in 2K, he doesn't really shoot the ball all that well, as you guys could see, 30%. So I don't know if there's really any positions we should look to upgrade. Taylor Hendricks in 2K, again, does not shoot the ball that well. Kenrich Williams is someone who I wouldn't mind acquiring. He's a good defender, and he can hit that 3-pointer. So let's go ahead and offer him a 2-year minimum. Will he accept? And yes, he will, on a 2-year, $5 million contract. We will sign some vet minimums here. Fred VanVleet has championship experience. Let's give him a 1-year minimum. And let's also try and bring back Ben Simmons. He does currently have 2 offers from 2 separate teams. Will he join us? Let's see. And it looks like Ben Simmons actually decides to join the Detroit Pistons over us, but Fred VanVleet does join the team. Alrighty, here we are at the start of this season with our 9-man rotation. Same starting lineup: Tyrese Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, LeBron, and Embiid. But a difference is VJ Edgecombe has now jumped up to a 91 overall. Off the bench, we have Anthony Simons, Caldwell Pope, Kaman Malwatch, and Dean Wade. And once again, we are rolling on a 5-star overall system proficiency, balanced under Nick Nurse. And now it's time to go ahead and simulate until the end of the season. But of course, you guys know if there are any trades to be made, I'll be stopping here at the trade deadline to show you all. I do want you all to comment down below whether you think we're going to be able to win a back-to-back championship this year or not. I personally think we're going to be able to win a back-to-back championship, and I honestly even think we could win 3 championships in a row in three-peat. Amazing news for our team, and we went on to win the NBA Cup with Joel Embiid winning NBA Cup MVP, averaging 21, 11, and 3. Let's see which team we took on. So we took on the Dallas Mavericks, a very tough team in 2K simulation, and we defeated them 128 to 123. Jaylen Brown had 29, 11, 21 VJ Edgecombe, 20 from LeBron, 16 Maxey, and 14 Embiid. We're stopped here at the trade deadline, and currently our team is dominating as the number 1 seed with 46 wins and 7 losses, but there is still a trade I would like to make if possible, and that's upgrading the backup power forward position. Dean Wade is only shooting 34% from 3. He's being paid $28 million, so if there's anyone out there on the market that we can acquire, I'll definitely try and pull off some trades, and I'll show you guys which trade that's hopefully going to be. We're talking with the Minnesota Timberwolves for Royce O'Neal. He's a good three-point shooter, he could defend. In 2K, he plays a lot better than Dean Wade most of the time, which is why we're going to try and acquire him to be our brand new backup power forward. He's a good two-way player, so let's see what the Timberwolves say if we offer them Dean Wade and Adam Bonner. And they decline the trade, they accept the trade, which means we get ourselves Royce O'Neal as a brand new backup power forward. And the reason we settled for Royce O'Neal is I basically tried to trade for every good backup power forward you could possibly think of, and no team was ready to accept the trade, but I'm still happy with Royce O'Neal as a brand new backup power forward. We have one game remaining to our season, and our team is so goated. Right now it's April 10th, and the last time we lost a game was all the way on January 5th. Ever since then, we've been undefeated. Now let's see if we can defeat the Brooklyn Nets, and yes, we can. But at the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win an MVP. This dude, Rookie of the Year, DeJounte Murray, 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Darren Peterson, Most Improved, Devin Booker, Clutch Player. Our head coach, Nick Nurse, goes on to win Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. Now let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections, which we most definitely should. So we do land LeBron James on an All-NBA second team, and we also get Joel Embiid on an All-NBA third team. For all defensive awards, we do land ourselves Joel Embiid on an all-defensive second team, and that will be it for awards. And we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 75 games and losing only 7, breaking the Warriors' record of 73 wins and 9 losses. But regular season success is cool and all, but we have to win ourselves a back-to-back championship. And before that, let's go ahead and take a look at player stats. So our leading scorer was LeBron James, averaging 24, 7, and 8. 1.5 steal, 1 block per game, 23 and 11 from Joel Embiid, 21 Maxey, 19 Jaylen Brown, 16 VJ Edgecombe, and 16 from Anthony Simons. Now it is time for the NBA playoffs, and in the first round, we've got ourselves Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Miami Heat. In their starting lineup, they have Bones Hyland, Lou Dort, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Bam Adebayo, and this here will be their bench unit. Let's see how things go. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Maxey dropping 27 points, 26 Edgecombe, 24, 7, and 10 from LeBron. Game number 2, we also secure the win. LeBron 33, 27 JB, 20, and 11 from Tyrese Maxey. We win game 3, and can we sweep them? No, we cannot. We actually end up losing game 4, but we do go on a gentleman sweep the Miami Heat. And so far here in the playoffs, Maxey is averaging 21 points, 14 Edgecombe, 15 Jaylen Brown, 23 from LeBron, and 20 from Joel Embiid. Now in the second round of the playoffs, we've got ourselves the Chicago Bulls, and in their starting lineup, they have Josh Giddey, Norman Powell, Montez Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, and Nick Claxton. Not a bad team whatsoever, but game number 1, we do end up winning. LeBron 33, 8, 11, 28, and 10 from Joel Embiid. Game 2, we also end up winning. We win game 3, and we do not sweep the Bulls, but another gentleman sweep. And so far, let's take a look at player stats again. Maxey 19, 16 Edgecombe, 17 JB, 25 LeBron, and 23 Joel. Both of the first 2 series were gentleman sweeps, and now we're taking on LeBron James' old pal Anthony Davis and the Washington Wizards. In their starting lineup, they have Trae Young, Bilal Coulibaly, AJ Debonsa, Anthony Davis, and Alex Sarr. Really good team, honestly. They were the number 6 seed, and this here's their bench unit. Pretty stacked team, I'm not gonna lie. Game number 1, we do end up winning. LeBron dropping 38, 31 JB, and 15 from Tyrese Maxey. Game number 2, we also end up winning. LeBron 23, 22 Simons. Game number 3, we do fall short. 114 to 108, we end up losing here. Embiid played good, but sadly that was not enough. We win game 4, putting us up 3-1. Maxey with 34 and 10, 25 Joel Embiid, 24 and 10 from LeBron. And it is another gentleman sweep. Let's go. Cooper Flag, Western Conference Finals MVP. LeBron James, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And now it all comes down to this. In the NBA Finals, we're taking on the Dallas Mavericks. In their starting lineup, they have Isaiah Joe, Tyler Hero, Zachary Risache, Cooper Flag, and Derek Lively. They no longer have Kyrie Irving from the looks of things. Otherwise, this team would have been a lot better. But let's see how things go. Game number 1, we do end up winning. LeBron 30, 20 Edgecombe. Can we also win game 2? And yes, we can. Joel Embiid dropping 32 points, 30 and 10 from LeBron. Game number 3, we also end up winning, and we go on to win a back-to-back championship with LeBron James winning Finals MVP, averaging 27, 6, and 7 with 4 steals and 1.5 block per game. He was doing everything offensively and even better defensively. So So that means we just won a back-to-back championship. But you know what? I think we're going to go for that three-peat. We're going to try to win our third championship in a row, which hasn't been done since I believe 2002 when Kobe Bryant and the Lakers did it. Let me show you guys the player stats before we go for that three-peat. So in the playoffs, this is the wrong player stats here. Let me go back. Okay, there we go. For the playoffs, we played a total of 19 games. In those 19 games, LeBron was averaging 26, 7, and 8. 23 and 9 Joel Embiid, 19 Maxey, 17 JB, 14 Edgecombe, and 14 Simons. For staff signings, our coach's contract has run out, which means we're going to have to re-sign him, and currently he has 5 offers from 5 different teams. Hopefully he accepts our contract, otherwise we're going to end up losing him. And just in case we lose him, I'm also going to go ahead and offer a contract to Ty Lue, just in case. Let's see which one accepts. So we do land Nick Nurse back as our team's head coach, which is amazing because we just won back-to-back championship with him. For team player options, of course, we are going to pick up the team option for VJ Edgecombe and Kaman Maluaj. Qualifying offers, we don't have to re-sign anybody here unless I'm mistaken. And yeah, so we don't really need to re-sign anyone except for a new backup power forward. We may just honestly re-sign ourselves Royce O'Neal unless I decide to choose one of these players up here. We're going to make 2 signings here in free agency. One is bringing back Royce O'Neal, but just in case he regresses a lot, we're also going to sign one of these players. Who should we sign? Rui Hachimura, Miles Bridges, Tobias Harris. There are some options, but let's go with Obi Toppin. Usually in 2K he's a really good player. We'll go ahead and offer him a 2-year minimum, and both players will be accepting. We got Obi Toppin on a 2-year $5.2 million, and Royce O'Neal on a 1-year $2.5 million. Alrighty, so we're going to be running with the same lineup, except we added Obi Toppin off the bench unit, and now I'm going to go ahead and see you all at the end of this season, where hopefully we can go on to three-peat and win our 3rd championship in a row. Once again, we end up winning the NBA Cup, and NBA Cup MVP goes to Joel Embiid, averaging a 23-point double-double. Let's see which team we took on. Once again, we took on the Dallas Mavericks, defeating them 125-123. There's only 1 game remaining to our season, and it says LeBron James is the runner-up to winning MVP, which is kind of surprising because this season he was only averaging 21 points per game, but the past 2 seasons his numbers were much better and he did not win an MVP. But I will be happy if we're able to win him an MVP, and he does end up winning an MVP. In what year is this? 2029. Averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, and half a block per game on 55% from the field. Anna Steinbeck, Rookie of the Year, Brendan Miller, 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Jaden Quaintance, Most Improved, Anthony Edwards, Clutch Player, Nick Nurse, Coach of the Year, and the Mavs go on to win Executive of the Year. Let's also go ahead and take a look at all NBA awards. Of course, the MVP, LeBron makes it on an all NBA first team. And we also get Joel Embiid on an all NBA third team. And what about on an all defensive team? Joel Embiid, once again, all defensive second team. And this year we also get LeBron James on an all defensive second team. Let's go. We ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 69 games and losing only 13. Let me give you guys a quick little rundown of our player stats before we see if we're able to three-peat here. So in the regular season, our leading scorer was not LeBron, the MVP. It was actually Joel Embiid, averaging a 22-point double-double. 21 LeBron, 21 Jaylen Brown, 20 Tyrese Maxey, 17 Edgecombe, and 15 from Anthony Simons. And now comes time for the playoffs, where in the first round we are taking on the Charlotte Hornets. And this year they actually ended up with Ja Morant, but no longer have Brendan Miller. So their starting lineup, they have Ja Morant, Cason Wallace, Con Kneppel, Dill, and Hannes Steinbeck. And this year will be their bench unit. Pretty stacked team, but they were the number 10 seed. Game number 1, we end up winning. LeBron with a 28-point triple-double, 26-11 from Embiid. Let's just go ahead and simulate the round, and we go on a gentleman sweep the Charlotte Hornets. Here are the player stats so far: 18 Maxey, 14 Edgecombe, 16 JB, 22 LeBron, and 22 Joel Embiid. In the second round, we're taking on the Heat, and they still have Giannis, and they also landed Stephen Curry as their starting point guard, but now he's down to an 89 overall. Let's see how things go. Game 1, we end up winning. We win Game 2, we win Game 3, and we do not sweep the Heat, but we go on to gentleman sweep them, making the Eastern Conference Finals. And now we're taking on Jason Tatum and the Celtics. Jaylen Brown going up against his former team. Game number 1, we end up winning. Maxey 36, 36 JB, and 21 LeBron. Game 2, we also end up winning. Game 3, we win. And we do not sweep the Celtics, but we do gentleman sweep them. That was the 3rd series where we gentleman swept the team, and now we're in the NBA Finals, either going to have to take on a very tough Dallas Mavericks team or a very tough San Antonio team. Let's see which one it will be, and it is Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks. Cooper Flagg, Western Conference Finals MVP, LeBron James, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 27, 9, and 8, 2.5 steals, and half a block per game. And now it is time for the NBA Finals, what we've all been waiting for if we could win our third championship in a row. And now we're taking on the Dallas Mavericks. They have Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Zachary Eastshake, Cooper Flagg, and Morris Johnson Jr. So this team did get a lot better than last year. They now have 290 plus overall players. And Darius Garland at that point guard position. Let's see how things go. Game number 1, we do end up losing 125 to 118. We fall short. Can we go on to bounce back in game 2? And no, we cannot. As I said, this team is looking very tough. Alright, so this is pretty insane. Kaman Moloch throughout the playoffs is shooting 96% from the field, so I did go ahead and raise his shot tendency all the way up to a 75, so he starts taking more shots. I also come up with a defensive coach game plan. In game 3, we also end up losing, and now we are down 3-0. It's going to be very difficult for us to come back from this 3-0 deficit, but let's make some changes to our roster. What we're going to do is shrink this down to an 8-man rotation, give these minutes across to our starters, play our starters a bunch of minutes, and maybe that's a way we could come back from this. It's going to be very difficult, but it's definitely possible. I've came back from a 3-0 deficit before many times. Mavericks do have home court advantage. Let's see what happens. We start off the first half very strong, and we end up winning 137 to 104. LeBron with a 32-point triple-double. He only missed 1 field goal attempt, 31 Embiid, 23 Maxey. That does take us one step closer to coming back here. Let's see if we're also able to win this next game. This time we have home court advantage. And so far we have the lead here. Can we keep it as a question? And yes, we can. 138 to 119. JB 32 and 11, 27 Maxey, 21 Embiid. And now we still have to win one more game in order for us to top the series. The Mavericks do have home court advantage, but the momentum has been on our side here. And whoa, we end up winning this game 141 to 88. LeBron 36, Edgecombe 24, Embiid with 21, 14, 5, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. So our defense has started to get a lot better. Let's jump into Simcast. It's time for Game 7, and thankfully we do have home court advantage on our side. Let's see what happens here. We start off the first quarter and the first half pretty strong. We do have the lead, and it looks like we just came back from a 3-0 deficit, winning here in Game 7, 132 to 115. Embiid 36, 13, 34 LeBron, and 19 from Jaylen Brown. And just like that, we go on to win the Philadelphia 76ers, their 3rd championship in a row. So we just completed the goal of three-peating and winning 3 championships in a row for the 76ers, with LeBron James winning Finals MVP. That was an amazing playoff series, and if I'm going to be honest here, I thought the Mavericks had us as soon as we went down 3-0, but clearly our team is unstoppable, and we came right back, defeating them in Game 7. But now, before I end up this video, let me show you guys the player stats for the playoffs, where we played a total of 22 games. The leading scorer was LeBron, averaging 26, 9, and 9, 2.5 steals, and half a block per game. 22 a night from Tyrese Maxey, 22 and 10 from Joel Embiid, 19 Jaylen Brown, 14 VJ Edgecombe, and 14 Anthony Simons. In the NBA Finals, we played 7 games. The leading scorer was LeBron, 27, 25 and 10 Joel Embiid, and 22 from Jaylen Brown. Now that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.